Monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Ghostly wails fill my head, chasing demons lost in time. Sanity a steep climb. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Blood-stained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Off with his head, she screamed. Blood moon's eerie gleam. Battle cries through the dark, leaving fear's deep mark. Echoes of sins long past, fighting shadows deep and vast. Bloodstained blade in hand, stand your ground, make a stand. Cursed whispers fill the air, spirits cry, beware, beware. Through the fog and through the flame, monsters here know my name. Silence screams, hearts break, nightmares come wide awake. Warriors of woe take flight, darkened souls embrace the fight. Shadows crawl from the grave, whisper secrets dark and brave. Eyes that pierce into the night, monsters come, we must fight. Candles flicker, casting dread. Spirits cry, beware, beware. Whispers in the dead night fire, broken dreams and twisted wire. Darkness feeds on fear's desire, shadows creep, the flames grow higher. Lonely graves and evil schemes, fighting phantoms, haunting dreams. Echoes of forgotten screams, horror not as hell seems. Battle cries and blackened void, demons that I once enjoyed, now my strength they can't avoid. Living past I'm forced to destroy. I suppose the blood they crave, spirits risen from the grave, clawing beastless souls they save. I'll be fighting till I cave, monsters hiding.
Alright, good morning everybody. Does not look like it. Oh. We're gonna give it a second. Looks like there's a moment delay. One moment. Alright. So. Yes. Extremely long story short, we are currently dog sitting a dog, and it's a German Shepherd who is used to being outside. So I am currently in the process of airing out my house on this brisk October morning. But, welcome Time, welcome Raven, it's good to see you both. You know, I thought about starting with Dragon Warrior 7 first. Ah, no joke. Nah, she's a good mutt. I like her. Alright, to catch us up real quick, we had basically beaten the first island. We found out that the monster keeping everybody enslaved was in fact the sister of the town hero, the legendary town hero Rex. We've got everybody back, so at this point, our next goal... real quick before I do that, I don't remember if it matters, but we're gonna go ahead. First, let's use all our seeds. And again, I want to use them all on the main character. Oh, absolutely, cats forever. I have two, but we agreed, so yeah. No, joking aside, I like having the dog here. She's a good dog. She's just big and smelly. But let's go ahead and give the wood doll that Matilda gave us back before we separated her from this mortal coil. Oh, wrong house. Ignore all of you. You are unimportant. Find the midget. You're not bleeding profusely this time. That is a sign of victory, yes. Matilda? Yeah, we saw her. I thanked her with my sword. Ah, bad jokes are bad. Yes, I do miss the Breath of Fire series. It's another one that I wish would come back. Breath of Fire, Wild Arms is another one, which I don't know if you know, but they are doing a spiritual successor to it. It's one of the few Kickstarters I've actually pledged to. That and Shadow Hearts. But we've gotten back all those seeds that Maribel gave her have bloomed. And let's give the wood doll. If we had sold it, we wouldn't be able to do this. It's a little thing. There is no, like, the final boss will now have a -10 difficulty because we gave the wooden doll, right? Nothing like that. But it's a little thing. Oh god, I would have to look up the title again. They did a joint working with that and the Shadow Hearts sequel. Armed Fantasia. Armed Fantasia is the name. Alright, and we're back. Yes. Shadow Hearts 1 and 2 were great. I do like, mild spoiler alert for those that haven't played the game. Shadow Hearts 1 had multiple endings. They weren't hard to get, but they did technically have multiple endings. And Shadow Hearts 2, rather than going off the good ending like you would expect, actually proceeds from the bad ending. And I always thought that was cool. Alright, so now we are back. Your party members wander off. Before we go home, we do have that shard. So let's go ahead and place it. Might as well do it just to get it out of the way, you know? Yeah, it was. Also, something to note. One of the little things that the game does well. So this room where we found the map is not only a map room, but it is a room map. So if you look in the center, I mentioned it last time, you see... God, I almost pointed at it again. But here is our island. Now, if you look, there's another island just off the north coast. Every time you go in the past and save an island, and you look in this room, it will appear. But we're gonna come here, blah, blah, blah. We gotta go back home. Lots of miscellaneous walking. Do 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 do. All right. Maribel is gonna wander off home. We are gonna go home as well. Break a pot. Yeah, sure, I promise. No, I'm not hiding anything. And a new island has been discovered. Your father and the town mayor, head chief, whatever you want to call him, has gone to the castle. Let's go talk to Maribel real quick, just in case. I don't think she comes with us at this time, but let's verify. Oh, she's not in there. Alright, no worries. Right? So, we've got our next. We gotta go to the castle. And then I do want to see... Will he give me... Alright, we will need the holy water later. So let's just go ahead and get that now. The game does give you a minor clue later. We need the holy water to defeat this blah blah blah. I've noticed... Alright, there's a meeting going on. You can't get in. Going to see his grandfather. Kiefer doesn't have a grandfather. I wonder what it could be. So, we're going to go visit Master Roshi, I mean the old sage. Alright. So we walked all this way just to go back home. I don't have it yet. No, I don't. So later, you're going to get a spell called Return, which does exactly what it says on the tin. You cast the spell and you can go back to any village you've visited in this time period. So, for instance, even though we visited Fishbell now, if we were to go back into the past, we couldn't zoom to Fishbell because we don't know, quote-unquote, where it is in that time period, or if it even exists in that time period. Oh, here they are. Alright. Not just a staircase. That's right, we're forming our own fucking expedition with blackjack and hookers. Let's do this. Now, one thing to note is that Well, I've said, spoiler alert, that you've been going back in time, blah, blah, blah. Right, let's only do the important things. But while I've said, hey, they've gone back in time, the characters don't actually know that at this point. Alright, soothing adventure music. Vibing out. Do, 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 do. Aww. My cats have been hiding since Aura came up. And, Honey, our youngest cat, just came out. Like, hey, let's explore. Is the scary one gone? Alright, so we know that the island is to the north of us because we saw it on the town or on the map room. Hey, this looks familiar. Now, one thing to note is that that little area where we first appeared is gone. And while I didn't show it, the tower is also gone. Alright, public school joke. And the town is back and fully built up. Even though when we left it last night, it was all beaten to hell. And the house is missing. Alright. I forgot about that guy. Randomly. Oh, hey, here it is. The shed. And that's it. It's just a shed now. Right. I do one day have to go back and play Chrono Trigger. I actually got the Chrono Cross remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, on the Switch. And I've been playing that with my daughter. Naturally, her favorite character is Poshu, the pink dog with a lisp. Alright, and he has a slightly better weapon for Kiefer, but we can't afford it. We've already got everything else, basically. The horned helmets, but again, no big deal. They're big on flowers here. That's right, the brave man did it. The other 3 people that helped him, let's not worry about them. Ungrateful bastards. Alright. So I'm trying to remember who. Yes, I think it's her. As Hank's tower. Wait a minute. We just talked to him. Typical Prince. I like Skelly. Oh, that sucks. It won't time. And I like Skelly. She does not. She does not like the skeleton clown. He's too creepy. Which is understandable. Alright, so you'll notice the tower is also missing. We are at the Colorstone mine where we were before. No one really told us to come here, but we can't yet. We gotta find the right guy. There it is. No one remembers why it's called Rexwood. Yes. Right. I get why she's afraid of Skelly. I understand. But he's fun. Why, yes, we will take it. Ouch. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta remember to steal everything, because we are protagonists. And then he tells me Colorstone Mine. So the game is, as we've discussed, very heavy on exploration. You're not always given a firm idea on where to go until you find the right person to talk to. A lot of the older school games, and this was very much... 7, they tried to recapture the old Nintendo era games, which may be why I like it so much, because that's what I grew up on. But it's a lot of go everywhere, talk to everyone. Oh, fuck it. Not impressed with our goal. That's okay. We know where we have to go, because we've already done this. Breaking the law, breaking the law, boop, boop, breaking the law, breaking the law. Right, absolutely no hand-holding. You know, when you only have fucking 5 kilobytes to put quest stuff on, you don't have space for hand-holding. let's see if I remember. Yes. Easy peasy. And once again, puzzles for 5th graders. Not hard, but a lot of walking around. Alright, we are now back in the area where we found the green color stone. Oh hey, our old buddies. Alright. Alright, so this is the only place where we can actually break something. Good timing, good timing. Alright. And there's the last fire shard we need. Bam, fire. Alright. Slime said FTS. I understand, Slime. I could just talk it out with him. I thought about it. Instead, I'd rather level up. Alright, so we just got a new ability. Let's talk about it. It's one of the abilities that I recognize as okay, but I hate using. This is a turn-based game. Every action counts. The problem with upper... So upper sounds good. Raises defense. Taking less damage, always great, right? The problem is... A, you have limited mana, especially in the early game. And B... Well, B, it only affects one ally. And C, there is no real taunt ability this early in the game. I don't remember if there is at all. But you're basically using one action to reduce the physical damage that one party member will take and hope that it's relevant. I'd rather just heal damage done. So it's very much a cornerstone spell, right? Like, it's one of those things everybody needs. However, it's hardly ever used, at least by me. It's just not worth it. Now, there are variants of that spell later in the game. So remember, when you're designing something, even if it seems obvious that you should include it, make sure you're including it in a way that is actually useful. Hello, Oreo. Alright. So, we've got the shard. That's right, it's good to be the prince. So, we know their meeting is going to be upstairs in the throne room. Can't go. I don't think they're good to their civilians. Alright, so an old man rushed out. Upset. Hey, found him. It's me, Master Roshi. Yeah, sure, move. Do 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 do. All right. Yeah, we did that. I have created new lands. And this is one of those things where you have to kind of turn off your brain. It happens a lot in the older games, but he's spent years of his life looking for this mysterious thing residing somewhere in the castle walls, and he knows that this raft is key. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna sail around to the back of the castle. Obviously, it was the agility seed. We're going to push the bookshelf. And there we go. Decades of his life, it took us 2 minutes. And that's it. So now we get in our raft, spin the world. Don't mind me, guards. I'm just sailing away. All right. Right, pretty much. So now we have our next quest. We have to drive, or go. God, we have to drive. We have to go back to the secret temple. Secret temple. Let's go. We've already got our holy water. They don't sell anything we care about. Lots of walking. This game is about 20 years before the so-called walking simulators became popular, but, well, it was a trendsetter. Alright, back to the secret temple. Now, we know that the fire is the next one we're going to be going to. That being said, I do have a wind shard, so I'm going to duck here real quick. And place what we can. So once you complete a pedestal, you don't get an option. You immediately get sucked in. So for instance, I am still injured, which, oops. But I'm sure it'll be fine, more or less. Ah, cutscene. We see a woman throwing a torch into a volcano, and the volcano apparently did not like that. I mean, I wouldn't like somebody throwing a torch at me either. Now, here's an important difference. You're going to start seeing this with all future islands. Notice the portal is open already, so it's not like Rexwood where once you go, you're stuck there until you finish. But the enemies aren't that bad at first. Just some more of the cat mages. 3 of them can be a little worrying. But we'll take them out real quick. Uh-oh. Kiefer may die. Alright. But solid XP and gold. Let's go ahead and heal Maribel real quick. Yeah, they're fine. Enemy encounters! Yay! So this game came out in, I believe, of August of 2000. I remember the year. But the game, graphically, it was very much a throwback to that Nintendo, Super Nintendo style. That was one of the main points of the game. It was very much supposed to be a callback. When this game came over in for US audiences, American audiences, this came out a year after Legends of Dragoon, which is the next game we'll be talking about. It came out around the same time as Final Fantasy VII, and it came out on the same system as those games, the PS1. So graphically, a lot of people knocked the hell out of it. Alright, we are in the village of Engo. Let's get to looting. Alright, they worship fire. First things first, let's go ahead and sleep. 15 gold, Jesus. Ah, that reminds me. We did find a leather hat, so let's go ahead and equip that for just a little more defense. Alright, there's apparently a festival going on, and we had that image of people throwing torches into a volcano. I wonder if they're connected. Hint, hint. Alright. So before we go to the village elder, alright, so real quick, I want to bring up Rosevine Whip. It's expensive as hell, and it's something Maribel can equip. Whips and later boomerangs work different from the other weapons that you've seen. Whereas a sword will do 100% damage to one target, a whip will do like 90% damage to a target, and then 80% damage to the next monster in that group, and then 70% damage to the next monster in that group, etc., etc., etc. Boomerangs do even less damage, but they do it to every enemy on screen regardless of what group they're in. The Rosevine Whip and the Boomerang are great for dealing with trash mobs. And they give Maribel a solid offensive option that isn't casting spells with limited mana. For those of you that have played the newer Dragon Quest XI, one of the things that game did was they gave a lot of characters mana regen very early in the game so that you could use magic and skills and you didn't have to hoard them. That's very much a quality of life improvement that I liked, and that this game is sorely lacking. But again, it's of the time period. So let's go see the Elder. Apparently they like travelers. I hope they're not going to throw us into the volcano. I've seen this movie. just in time for the festival. It's a fire festival where we all do a great procession of fire up the Mount of Flame. You should come with us. This is not ominous at all. Joking aside, they do not try to sacrifice you, but they should. Well, I'm not going to show you. Fuck you, kid. This is why I hate children. It's not the reason. It's definitely up there. Alright, so we're going to swap out. Yep, again, not ominous at all. Yay, Pompeii. Alright, so nothing in this well. We probably won't get to it, but in the future, that will be a full hot springs. Would you like stuff from Pamela? Too bad. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a nap. Oh, excuse me. Alright, she too has had a vision. You're pointing out something bad is going to happen. That's angering the bad thing. Alright. I believe you. I'm not asking you. Well, fuck you. Alright. So here comes the town elder to smooth things over. Don't panic. I always try to forget the ominousness. Alright. Why'd you have to give your warning to everybody? Couldn't you have just told me? But I like the festival. That's right. No festival like the last minute festival. Alright. Yes. Yeah, we'll help. What the hell, we're bored. That's right, innkeeps don't like to make money during festival time. They'll let you sleep for free. This is the way money works. I am very smart. So this is the third time we've slept at the inn in 10 minutes? Yes. And the innkeeper says, fuck this. Festival is serious business. Alright. Alright. Progressing things along. And you'll notice now, people have torches. How are we? What building? One of these buildings is the church. Or there's a priest around because it's the festival time. I do want to save it. There we go. So let's Oracle. Yeah, I've got a while. Kiefer is right there. And Maribel's got a minute. So let's go ahead and save. Because the next part is technically timed. So as you're progressing through the... Now wait till we get there to explain it. Suffice to say, the next part is technically timed. But if we want to do the procession, we need a torch. Let's go ahead and get our torches. Yep. So I didn't talk to him, but there's a guy in there in a horned helmet who's like, finally, this year is my year. I get to be the first in line, the first in procession, the first to enter Mount Flame. I've been waiting for this all my life. And we'll see in a minute that that doesn't happen. Alright, so we're going to do our Olympic torch walk up a volcano. Alright, some new enemies to fight. Ah, crap. Alright. So you'll see they just tried to cast fire and it didn't work because they were out of MP. Enemies can run out of MP. Later you'll get an ability called Osmosis, which will be a big help. Alright. And the last lady in line, that is what I was talking about earlier. As you progress through the volcano, each person will come up and throw their torch periodically. If the woman appears before you finished, that's it, it explodes. It's a long time limit, but there is technically a time limit. And now here's the guy I was talking about, his one life dream. At long last. But but I was first. Ah, poor dude. So he's gonna lead us. We are gonna toss our torches in to start the procession. Yep. Hey, you know what? At least they have railings up. I mean, they're rope in a volcano, which is probably not a good idea. But the point is, they are thinking about safety. Ah, crap. So she is a save point and basically in. If you happen to get too injured, we're going to try to do it in one go. And you see the procession? Excuse me, the procession has started. Wrong way. It has begun. Do 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 do. Alright, some treasure chests we can't reach yet. And some we can. That's just an herb. And of course, Maribel stubbed her toe. She's almost dead. Do 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 do. I think I went back the wrong way, but yep, it's okay. Do 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 do. Do do. All right. So this battle is almost over. Let's go ahead and heal Mr. Bitey. We know Maribel's about to level, so we're going to hold off on healing her, since most of it's just going to be overheal anyway. Alright, we found a knife. So we're going to go ahead and give that to Mr. Bitey's. Yes. Alright, Grandpa throwing in his torch. So I don't remember which one it was, but there is a set of treasure chests that we passed by. So before you fall into the hole, just do a quick circuit. There it was. Okay, there was really nothing in there, but the point remains. Do, 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 do. So we are about to face our first boss alone. Without a major NPC here to do it for us. And I want to talk about this boss once we get to it, because it highlights an interesting design decision that I think we should discuss. Don't hit Maribel? Okay, cool. But we'll discuss that when we get up to him. And leveling up. So, while we can't save here, we are absolutely going to save here. Nobody saw that. It's a mystery. Alright, there was nothing. Boss time. Duck Station. And welcome, Tor. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat, so welcome. And yes, Time, I wish I could learn sleep too. Absolutely, that would be a helpful spell. Just for me, not even on other people. Screw them. Yep, your flesh, your bones, your very soul, you're gonna burn it. So, for those of you that were here for the first boss, Matilda, you'll remember that I ranted a little bit about how Matilda, yes, thematically it made sense that she didn't attack back, but the boring was a long, drawn-out slog because she just parried and defended and reduced your damage. And that didn't make for a very interesting fight. The only real special ability we have outside of heal and reduce defense is sleep, which doesn't work on bosses, Maribel's retaliate, which if she gets hit with an attack, she counters with the same attack. Okay, that's an interesting thing to put on your mage with no HP, but okay. Is Kiefer's Fire Slash. This is Fire Giant. He's immune to fire damage. So once again, we are in a boss fight where most of our weapons are useless. And it's very frustrating. Now, you could. You absolutely could. But call me old, man. I'd rather just take a nap. Like, I don't want to deal with this. Good night. Anyway, to get back on topic, I get why, from a thematic point, it makes sense. Right? You're starting to get strong. You're starting to have these abilities, only it doesn't matter, right? Like, the forces that you're arrayed against are more than you. You need to think tactically, you need to figure out how to beat them, blah, blah, blah. Thematically, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But just because something makes thematic sense doesn't mean it's necessarily the right move from a gameplay perspective. You'll notice that a lot with... And here is where we guard. But you'll notice that a lot in this game is that a lot of what they did, if this was a movie or a book, it would be awesome. But it's not. It's a different medium, and they need to take that account. When you're playing a game, whether it's or designing a game, whether it's a video game, a tabletop RPG, you need to take that into account. And when we sit down and play our game next week, I'm going to point that out. Things they did both right and wrong compared to Dragon Warrior. Yeah. But again, not only is he immune to debuffs, but he's immune to fire, which is our only real offensive option at this point. Maribel getting the critical hitting, good. So we're just sitting here once again on a boss fight, spamming basic attack. Alright, sap has worn off, so we're going to reapply that. All of these fights could have been done better. Which is, again, not to say that they're bad. They're very thematic. They're great. Yes. Hug the fire boss. I see no flaw with this. Alright, there's a treasure chest, and I should be right about Mr. Bitey's leveling. Little shy, I think. Yeah, it looks like. So, and then this is another important thing, thematically important. We beat the boss, but it's not enough. The the black flame of destruction, whatever, still rose. We've got to find another way beyond just find the right long-haired pretty boy to beat up, to paraphrase Final Fantasy. Um, we've got to find some other way to stop it. Oh, the black flame of destruction, yes. Sounds like an attack from a 90s anime. So, a shabby little room and a man with a slovenly face. A bottle with some liquid in it. Oh, and me. So, we know who that is. We've already gotten it. Obviously, we need booze. So let's go ahead and use the holy water. There we go. That's how you end a religious ceremony. Alright, so we go back. A little bit of black text. Black screen text. Yay, we partied. No, it was not a blast. You're welcome. And just like that, we have another island basically done. So let's go ahead and sell some of our crap. See how close to that whip we can get. Not close enough. But that's okay. Another shard. Right. Completely unrelatable. Alright. So let's go talk to the elder. See if he has anything to... Oh, we walked right by the elder. So kind of a mixed bag there. So we are going to do the long walk back to the shrine. Now, I do want to point something out. So he wants us to go back to the castle, and we will. First, let's see about the shards that we have. Okay, not enough. Do, do, do. Okay, so we're not going to do that, but you'll notice we can use this temple to go back to Esterd Island, right? This one now has a flame. We can't go in it yet until we sail to the island and find the portal and go through it to come back the other way. Basically, the door's locked from the other side. So, we're going to come in here. And then once again, we're going to do a little bit of pre-planning. The holy water we left, or was, yeah, damn. When we used the holy water, it left us with an empty bottle. We're now going to obtain the rainbow dew. We won't need that for a long time, but we will need that. While we're here, we might as well get it. More walking. Do, do. Do, do, do. So around level 8 or 9, the hero will get a spell called Return, which is what I mentioned earlier. It'll let you go back to any town you've already visited. And then around the same level, maybe a level before, Maribel will get Outside, which costs 8 mana, but will return you to the entrance of a dungeon. Between the two, it will speed things up a little bit. Alright, the king threatened me last time. I don't know if I want to talk to him. Alright. Yes, we are going to send out a team to look for an island that appeared somewhere in the world. And it worked. This is apparently how things work. But again, it's a game, it happens. Hmm. All right then. You also do not have an expendable bloodline. Meanwhile, your dad is just like, fuck it. What do you want to do, dude? Yes, I should have named the main character CIA. Because I'm going to do some king making. Do you want to go off on adventures and make everyone back home worry about you? Yeah. Would you go alone? Yeah. Alright, cool, whatever. You're a 17-year-old man. Your uncle's been using you as a wingman for the last, 12 years. God. Alright, let's get some sleep. Oh, there's Maribel. Alright, she's coming with us. No, we don't need Kiefer. Oh, wait. We're not strong enough to get into our secret base. Maybe we need him after all. Oh, hey. Do, do. Let's board the boat. Now, this one is going to be a little long. If you remember from the map room, this island was rather far north. Excuse me, but we got this. Well, maybe. Ah. All right, Cat. Alright. See, Mr. Bitey's was right there to leveling. Oh, hey. Random gear, not going to turn that down. So let's go ahead and give that to Maribel. Because, yeah, she has no defense right now. And she's still on the low end of the defense spectrum, however. 22 is better than 14. Oops. All right. Okay. Oh, the dog is sleeping, so now my cat is like, pay attention to me. Alright, stealing people's clothes for fun and profits. Alright, ignore that guy. Alright. Auntie Pamela, wait a minute. This is all about time traveling. The hell is Pamela still alive? Alright. So we're at 704. We can sell her bronze knife. And then that will give us enough gold to buy the Rosevine whip. Yes. Alright, Pamela became a title, just as much as a name. I do not like that one. Yes. They are special boxers, apparently. Alright. So let's give the kid his button back. So, tiny medals in other games, they're known as mini medals. Other Dragon Quest games, they've been a staple since I want to say 3. Basically, you'll find these mini medals scattered throughout the world. There's a guy that wants to collect them all, and he gives you a bunch of rare crap. And this guy standing next to the flame has no idea why the flame is there. So much for the village elder's promise. Oh, and their faith is slowly going away. He may just be stupid. The cat or the guy buying the boxers? Do 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 do. So let's go check on things here. Now, this is what I've talked about, or what I was talking about earlier. There we go. Now, in the future, rather than making that long trek, we can just go up through there and get right to the same continent that Englow is on. Who's refilling these treasure chests? It's okay, it's a magic boat. So yeah, with the Rosevine Whip, her damage is still not great, but ah yes, the sand in the eyes reduces accuracy. Miss. Hey, you know what? I sell some boxers for 50 gold. I wouldn't buy them for 50 gold, but Alright, this is where the one guy was. He's gone. We're going to go all the way down. And there's the wind shard. And we have the other aqua shard. So, just like that, we've finished this this island. We're ready to unlock the next one. This is what I mentioned, or this is what I meant when I mentioned way back that the islands do start speeding up, but so we've got a wind shard and an aqua shard. We're gonna do the aqua shard first. So this unlocks 2 islands. We're gonna do this one because it's a little. There's no real combat on this one. I don't know if I can get it done in the 10 minutes we have left. 14 minutes we have left. But. Oh, goddamn you. Anyway, this island I like. Thematically, it's very different from the first two. And it very much, for such a small island and what basically amounts to a side quest island, it very much adds a weird wrinkle to the overall storyline. So, everyone here, look at all these statues. The statue is barely standing at all. Yep, Maribel's right. Random writing. One lone old dude. It's like, wait a minute. You can cure people who are trade to stone. Right. Yeah, let's sleep. We got that ominous warning. So this is once again a run around and talk to everybody thing, where you learn what happened to the town. All right, creepy dude. That's right, I'm gonna pray to a rock for rain. Not commenting. Do, 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 do. Alright, so we're not going to make it to the end of all the cutscenes, but one of the reasons why I love this island and why it changes things, the first two islands you go to, you solve the problem, right? You beat up the bad guy, you save the world, yay. With this island, you don't. You bring it to the future, sure, but all of these people, you can't save them. Um, Spoiler alert, you do save Joseph, the little boy that you keep seeing, and then the old man. But that's it. All these townspeople, they're dead. You were not in time to save them. That is the price of you not doing what you should. It very much puts a damper on the idea that you can even fix everything. And I like that. I think it's great for ratcheting up tension. Alright, we'll talk to this woman. Alright, Clayman's gonna go get supplies, which means he is in fact out of town during the prayer ceremony. Yes, all praise the boulder. We will solve this with the power of rock. Alright, he is blocking the door. So let's talk to him. Yes. Oh shit, the prayer worked. Oops. They did it. Steal their gold, they won't need it. Alright, he is not there right now. And we can't go in the well. Oh, that's because he's over there. That's right. Yes, he would. We even have the green hat. So, he is Clayman. Let's go back to bed. We'll deal with this shit in the morning. So, normally we end at noon. We're right at the end of the island, so we are going to play for a couple minutes past. Just a heads up. But we are now. We are on top of the Boulder God. We are the new gods. So he didn't want to use the angel tier because he believed it wouldn't heal the town. And he was right. We did cure the darkness. And Joseph comes out of his secret base. That's right. It reminds me, there was on the PS1, I never remember the name, but there was a Dungeons and Dragons fighting game. And one of the secret characters was Strahd. And his victory animation, he would go, "Your death serves a higher cause. Me." And I always loved that. It was so fucking stupid. But everybody is still stone. The old man was right. The angel tier was not enough to save them, though it did end the curse on the island, which was also necessary. And we found another shard. Alright. So now we need to bring him to the old man. Oh. That's right, the light is out, so he is back next to the well, contemplating the sweet release of smoking. Having, yes. I noticed that too. Look, localization was never great. Never. Frankly, if that's the worst of it, I'm okay with that. And spoiler alert, it's not the worst of it. Alright, so the island is saved. We're going to go visit it in the future real quick. And then we're going to call it for the day. Nice small island. Alright, so you can see to the southeast is where it appeared. So we know where we need to go. Let's get the shard. So yes, we have to build a city at the request of a man named Sim. A Sims city, one might say. For those of you who are not aware of Akira Toriyama, he loves shitty puns. As do I. As do I. Much respect. Yes. But I am going to go back to the closest little what's the word? Church. God. And save. That froze for a second there. I got worried. Oh, and we're going to end with Kiefer right there. Poor Kiefer, it always happens. Alright, so at this point, this is the last of the Dragon Warrior series for now. The next time I do another Bitey's Breaks, we are going to be playing The Legend of Dragoon, a game that came out a year before. Many of you probably remember it, or at least have heard of it, and we're going to be going over how it handles its story differently from this game. So, see y'all next time. Take care.